I'm Robbie Bullough with Blaine Fowler. We don't see Blaine on TV enough, so we're going to bring him on Alumni Day. You see,
you didn't let me dress up.
Of course not.
No makeup.
Absolutely. We get you in your element.
This is Blaine Fowler Unplugged.
Blaine Fowler Unplugged. And we're getting ready to shoot True Blue behind us, so they're getting ready to go there.
I'll change for that.
It was Alumni Day. You were out talking to some of your former teammates, former players. What was it like to have this reunion of sorts?
This is really fun. Something I look forward to every single year. And today was really fun. They had an offensive lineman reunion last night. And so I just spent a lot of time with my whole offensive line from our national championship team back in 1984. So fun to visit with them and relive those days. They were talking about, hey, we remember when you came in the huddle in that Michigan game and we were playing for the national championship. And I said, yeah, I remember that. Craig Garrick told me not to worry that I wouldn't get touched, and I got plowed on the first play. And he said, hey, my bad. You won't get touched again. The rest of the game, we were laughing and have a good time. And it was really good to see Coach French, our old offensive line coach. He's back in town. And so it's fun to renew old acquaintances.
28 years later, you're still sucking up to your offensive line.
You've got to, because they can protect you. They're still big guys, too. And most of them look like they're in really, really good shape. So it was fun to see them. It was fun to visit with those guys.
Okay, as you worked the field, as it were, who's the one guy that you could say, man, he could still go out there and play football right now?
There's several. I'm telling you, Louis Wong, I think Louis could still play. I think you could put him at right tackle and he would be just fine. He looks the same as he did back when we played, and he's in incredible shape. Trevor Maddich is big enough that he could play and smart enough that he could play. He still looks like he might be able to suit it up and play. In his mind, I get talking with Trevor and he starts talking about, well, if they align like this, we'd make this call and this is how you'd pick up that blitz. So his mind is still there. But I think if I'm thinking about who looks like they're in the best shape and could still play, it'd probably be Louis Wong. I think he could play right now.
This is like our alumni version of the Blainies. Okay, yeah. Who's the one guy that you saw out there that would be the "you played football?" award?
Let's think. I don't know if there's anybody that I would have thought that. Well, I'll take John Adams, who played on the offensive line, was a center and a long snapper for us. I almost didn't even recognize him. He's got to weigh like 195 pounds. So he's in great shape. He's handsome as ever. He looks like he's 35 years old, but I'm like, he can't be a lineman. He looks like he's a defensive back now. Kudos to him. I could take a lesson from John and lose a little.
Okay, you had to pick one guy out there that you're going to send on a go route. And you're the one throwing, so let's maybe not go too deep on this, but who's the one guy you'd want going on the go route for you?
Well, Andy Boyce right now. And I picked out Lewis because he's an offensive lineman. But Andy Boyce, he's in better shape than he was when we played, I think.
Wow.
And he was a great receiver when he was playing. He was a young guy, the guy that I would throw a lot of balls to when he was just a freshman. He's in incredible shape. I think he could go out and line up and run and play right now, and I'd throw it out to him. And I don't know that he's going to outrun anybody anymore, but I'll guarantee you one thing, Andy Boyce will not drop the football. That's for sure.
Well, that's what we need. 97th, I think, in turnovers last year, so let's get him back out there.
He would not drop. Wouldn't drop the football then, and I guarantee you wouldn't drop it now. He reminded me he was before Ben, but of Ben Cahoon type receiver that just did not drop the football.
Okay, when we think of fan favorites, we think of guys like Riley Nelson, Ross Oppo, Cody Hoffman, Kyle Van Noy. Who's a guy on the current team that's maybe an alumni favorite? Someone that they liked watching today?
I think everybody really appreciates what Cody Hoffman does out there. So acrobatic, makes so many great catches, and a guy that didn't come with a lot of fanfare, wasn't recruited by a lot of folks, and he's just really stepped up and played great. So I think the guys love Cody Hoffman, and everybody loves the grit of Riley Nelson. Especially, I talked to a lot of offensive linemen today. Those guys love a quarterback that'll, get down and dirty and go lift with them and run the football and put his head down and do all of that. So they love him. But I think for marquee value, everybody loves what Cody Hoffman does out there.
Okay, this is the before, and if you watch True Blue, we're going to see the after of Blaine Fowler when he gets cleaned up.
Yeah, we'll get this all cleaned up and fix it all.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
Thanks, Robbie.